And a round of applause for our special guests.
Very honored to have Miss Andrea and Miss Raelyn help me with a presentation tonight in helping all of our elementary schools reach district goal number 1. We're going to talk a little bit about student leadership opportunities at the elementary level. All 7 of our buildings have 5th grade safety patrol members, would help out with kindergarten, the library, the PE teachers, the art room, et cetera, et cetera. Many of our buildings also have what's called care ambassadors. Think of an elementary version of student government without the president, the vice president, and the other hierarchy to help give some leadership opportunities. And then at Plank North, we're going to take a little bit of time. Thank you, Mr. Conley. All right, of talking about something specifically that we learned at State Road back in the day when I was an AP, and then we carried over at Plank North, which is our student-run post office at Plank North called the
Pioneer Express Post
Office. Well
Office.
played. You didn't even know that was coming. All right. So real quick, there are some bullet points up there, but again, I'm not sure, honestly, who enjoys the post office more. And what I mean by that, receiving a letter, either the students or the adults. So we have siblings write each other. We have kids write their former teachers, kids within their class. It's a way of kids staying connected at their grade levels, and even not at their grade levels they don't see, just because they're on the same bus, as an example. So those are some of the former reasons why, and a more politically correct version of why we do that from an educational point of view. We have 4 wings at Plank North, and each one think of as a neighborhood. So we have Pioneer Park, Career Heights, Storyville, and Warrior Way, and every student and adult in the building has addresses that helps them. There's stationery that's created, and the amount of work that is put in by our staff, and I'm going to highlight the staff that really puts this all together for us, for our students and our staff, doing amazing work. We've come a long way. We've become Google ties along with everything else. So instead of having binders in each room that has all the kids' addresses when I write somewhere, it's a Google file. And obviously our intermediate friends know how to access it with a little bit more TLC for my primary art teachers as well to help them out with that. It's an example of how they would address either an adult or a child in our school, the hallway, the community, and then address that's on there. And to help encourage and promote this, we have a stamp contest. So we have 2 sets of stamps. So for pre-K through 2nd grade, and then for grades 3 through 5. Miss Jordan loves this. She's our art teacher at Plank North because the art talent that we have in our building is amazing. So the kids will design it. I think this year we got Pride or Moose involved in the stamps, did we not?
Yeah.
Moose, yeah, Pride. All right. And the adults, there was a committee of adults that looked at the stamps. There's one of our former stamps that's actually up there back in the past that was a theme that we had as well. Now, the important people that are in the room. No disrespect to the Board of Education, Mr. Neenan, of course. I'm going to turn it over to first Miss Andrea, who's going to walk us through what our 4th graders have to do both for the application and the interview process.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and being a member of the Plank North 4th grade Pioneer Express Post Office is really fun. And so basically, when I heard about it, I figured out that I wanted to straight away be postmaster. And when they passed out the application, I signed everything on it. It asked me on a piece of paper what would make a good postmaster and my top 3 favorite jobs. And so I did everything on the application, and the next day I turned it in, and I was excited for the next thing, which was soon to be my interview. And so I got interviewed. When I got called up for an interview, I got nervous and excited at the same time. It's like I had butterflies in my stomach. And then I got interviewed with Mrs. Dirtinger. She asked me my favorite hobbies and stuff. And so I was excited when they finished. And about a week or so later, I got called up with Mr. Darling and Ray, and he took us to the lunchroom, the room like where the Pioneer Express happens, and he explained a lot of things, and then finally he told me I got postmaster, and I was really happy for me and Ray, and I think a lot of people would also be happy to see their job. And I wish it could happen all over again.
Aww.
And now I'm gonna pass it over to my good friend, the other postmaster, Ray.
I'm going to talk about the 5 jobs in the post. The first job is the postmaster. The postmaster has a key to unlock the mailbox. The postmaster collects and counts the mail to keep track of the mail every day. The mail is then given to the facer canceller. Next job is the facer canceller. The facer canceller flips the mail the right way. Then they stamp the letter with a green stamp and shows that the letter went through the post office. Next job is the Nixie clerk. The Nixie clerk checks the stamp for proper mail format to make sure that the carrier can deliver the mail. If the mail is missing something or something is wrong, then the Nixie clerk stamps the letter with return to sender. Next job is the sorter. The sorter sorts the mail into a wooden mail sorter that is labeled with hallway and classroom. The last job is the carrier. The carrier gets the mail from the wooden mail sorter, then they deliver the mail to the classroom mailbox. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. B.
Thank you, ladies. And I have you know they take their job very seriously, and even if the principal had one number off in the zip code, it gets returned to sender.
As it should.
Thank you, Mr. Ninian. So we have 58 fourth graders that went through the interview process that Ms. Andrea chatted about, and the interview application as well. So we currently have 58 of our fourth graders that are working in the post office, and we have 4 sections of fourth grade, and they each have it on for a month. And right now, our postmasters right now are in the process of training the next classes, and they'll just pay it forward for the next 3 groups that come out and work that way through that. And those are the 5 culprits and the victims in crime, Mrs. Provenzano, Mrs. Cavalieri, Mr. Darling, and Mrs. King, and Mr. Gorski, that really are instrumental in putting this all together for our students and staff at Plank North. You guys were awesome. Any questions for the ladies, not for the principal?
Any questions? So proud of you. What a great opportunity for kids. So thank you guys for making this opportunity for them. But great job. We're so happy that you're doing it and proud of you.
What's your favorite part?
Ooh, that's hard.
One of your favorite parts.
Well, one of my favorite parts is like seeing everyone doing the work, and it's kind of like fun all together. And like, I think it would be like if I had like a better time doing it, or like, no, wait. I had a great time doing it, and I'm happy that, like, I'm sad that we're not doing it much anymore, because like you only get a month until you train the other class. But I'm also happy that they get the opportunity.
That's great. Yeah, well said. Well said. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
All right. Thank you very much.